Welcome back. I can't believe it's taken us this long to get to a Star Wars game.
And I am okay with that.
Today we'll be playing what is often considered by many to be the best of these games. Oftentimes called a glorified Battlefield clone game, but not really. I think it does enough things differently. It has its own feel. But it's Battlefront 2. This game is awesome. We'll be playing the campaign mode for this, Rise of the Empire. What do you know about this game?
I know nothing about this game. I grew up with the original on my Xbox, Star Wars Battlefront. And all I really liked about that game as a kid was the loading screens. So that's all I got.
Screens are amazing. Do you know I think on the Classic Collection that came out from Asper, the loading screen is actually missing sound effects in Battlefront 1?
What?
Isn't that depressing?
That is the worst. Who would play that version? Volume.
I had to display capture this because the PC version, it renders the game at the resolution you want, but not the menus. So like has to keep pausing and starting them, and if you do that at OBS won't pick up the game when it returns. It's annoying.
Oh, actual first-person control.
Okay, so to explain the campaign real quick, this takes place a little bit, or I guess during Revenge of the Sith, after Revenge of the Sith, and throughout the original trilogy. You play as the clones, and this is kind of our first full look at the Clone Wars before the Clone Wars TV show. And our first kind of look at the clones into how they are as characters, because the movies don't really have them as characters. And it's cool in this game because everyone's voiced by Tamara Morrison, the actor from the movie, which is cool.
Well, that's cool. This looks very Halo.
Halo?
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of Halo.
Huh.
The way the HUD is, the way like you just have this big, massive reticle.
I like the HUD so much better in the original game. It has so much. It looks a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. I just saw this and I was like, oh man, I just played the original Halo recently.
Okay.
Kind of reminds me of it.
So if you remember the film Revenge of the Sith, this is the planet Kiadi-Mundi was on when he got killed. Mikito. Kind of expanded now in this, so we get to see more of it and such.
You could say every name in Star Wars, and I could only recognize like 3. I have no clue.
We get to play as him in this level, so you'll get to see him at least. I don't know if you'll remember it.
Okay. I don't know. I am not a big Star Wars guy. I should preface that. If you've watched our previous videos, you might have heard me say that before.
Yeah.
But I do like the prequels, and I like the original 3 movies at the very least. But I'm not just like a diehard or anything.
One of the things I love about this game is how chaotic it gets. Like, look at this already, because especially in campaign mode, because they're not using the whole map right now. Every unit is localized to this area because this is where the objectives are.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So it just makes it really chaotic, and it really gives you that roleplay feeling. It's very immersive.
Yeah, this
that
does.
Rocket went right through that.
This does look pretty fun. Another thing I should say is that I've never been big on Battlefield or Battlefield-like games either.
I never really played any Battlefield games except for one, but I played that way after this.
Every time I play a Battlefield game, I'm just spending the entire time getting sniped by someone that I can't see. So, I guess if I played the campaign for this, that wouldn't happen as often. But this has a better visual style for clarity and actually seeing what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But
so to kind of, you haven't seen any of like the Clone Wars TV show, have you?
I saw the movie that like kicked it off or whatever.
Okay.
And then
So I'm gonna, you know
little
nothing.
bit,
So
a little bit of the first season.
When Attack of the Clones came out and introduced the clones, there wasn't really much personality to them and nothing exploring them. This is kind, and then same thing, Revenge of the Sith. This is kind of that first game that goes into it, and especially their perspective on Order 66, which is what kills all the Jedi. And in this earlier interpretation, and a lot of the novels at the time, the clones were fully aware of what was going on. They knew from like the get-go what the plan was, that they were gonna kill all the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
The Clone Wars TV show, obviously, most people know this. It changed. That almost hit me. It changes this so the clones are, very much allies with the Jedi, and they have a loyalty chip inside of them that when the Order 66 goes up, they just instincts take over and they kill all the Jedi.
So is that why
it makes them way more tragic?
Yeah. Is that why the isn't there like also a series that stars some of them where they're actually like rogues going against Order 66?
Yeah, that's like a sequel / spin-off of the Clone Wars. I guess I'll say spin-off because Rebels is technically the sequel to Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. I think that spin-off / sequel starring the rogue clones looks the most interesting to me. The Bad Batch, yeah.
Really?
It looks the most interesting to me out of, Clone Wars, Rebels, anything like that. So, but I know nothing about, I know virtually nothing about any of the shows. So,
yeah. I think Clone Wars is still generally considered the best, but that's kind of an arc by arc basis. Because most of the stuff in that is pretty not worth watching.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and since I'm a movie fan, a fan of the original like 6 movies more than anything. You saying the name of this guy, I don't think it's ever said in those movies. So,
I think it is in the movies.
I don't remember if it is
because he even has a speaking role in the movies.
Well, I know he speaks that one time in the Jedi Council.
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
But I don't think they actually say his name in that scene.
I honestly have no idea.
He might be in the credits. His name might be listed.
I know Ayla Secura isn't. Her name is not in the movies.
Interesting.
You don't even. I bet you don't even know.
I have no. Guessing. You know I don't.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see her next level. But yeah, so to kind of explain what goes on in these campaign levels is they utilize the maps, usually have you in smaller parts of them doing objectives, which can vary from like the standard command posts, like the standard instant action gameplay, something like what I just did there, where you had to basically capture a flag and take it over to a point, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those campaigns, but I think it does it pretty well. And the cutscenes are like some of the best parts of this game, especially with the voiceover. Because like I said, in this, the clones fully know they're killing the Jedi. And like the 501st Legion was just, I guess at this point, just used by every single Jedi. And they're the ones who kill them. It's kind of weird how they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they changed it later so that 501st is just the group of clones that work under Anakin. So they only, I think, killed the Jedi in the temple, like the younglings, the kids. That scene.
Yeah. Well, clearly that Padawan approached Anakin very aggressively, so it's really his fault.
Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we going to do? I don't know why child murder in that scene is so funny, but it is. That's Ayla Secura.
Oh, yeah.
She appears once in the film on this planet,
and she dies.
She gets gunned down from behind.
Yeah. It's like, I remember that scene happening in the movie and being like, I recognize her from, I think, the PS1 Star Wars Jedi Battles game.
Reflections.
Wow, it's nice.
And a game from 2005 on consoles.
Yeah, I do like the graphical style a lot. This is like my childhood era of video games.
So I don't know how much you've been listening to the voiceover, but the lines on this specific level get really depressing because they talk about how much they respect Ayla Sakura and how much she helped them from getting killed on this planet, and then they're like, it made us sad that we had to kill her. It's really depressing. And there's another cool thing this game does is they take advantage of the fact that everything in Star Wars lore is written down in like so many different visual guides. So like you got these things. I'm trying to remember what they're called. Accolades. The accolades. They appear in Attack of the Clones in the Coliseum. But they have a little excerpt in the visual guide that says they're from a planet called Felucia. And the devs realize, oh, hey, Felucia, you know, we're putting that in our game. We can have you fight them. They don't appear in the movie on this planet, but it's kind of a cool way to integrate the lore.
I do
which
like
this game does
that.
a lot.
I like that because there is just a lot of Star Wars lore that most, I would say, unless you're like really hardcore into it, you don't really know about it. So that attention to detail for the hardcore fans is something I can appreciate.
It's weird because it's simultaneously made to be as in-depth as possible and as easy to understand as possible. Like, you got these things which have a full backstory, what planet they're from, and probably a bit of ecology lore.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you go into ship design, when George Lucas greenlights ship designs and such, all he does is look at them and try to determine what every button does without being told. And if you can't do that, it gets scrapped. To make sure that anybody who looks at it can figure out at an instant what it does. It's really smart design. It just is really funny that it's in a series that has this much lore and world building. Like every single walker variation, ship variation out there has a name and a backstory and like detailed instructions on what it can do. Like this, for example, is an ATTE. And it's a big mobile transport, that kind of thing.
It's something, it's something as just a fan of the movies. It's like you see these elements, you really don't know what they are because they're not actually explained in the movie because it would be way too much to explain in a movie. But, they become sort of recognizable. Even, like, it's pretty easy to tell what things are used for. In the movies, so I think they did a pretty good job with it. But yeah, the Execute Order 66 scene is a it's one of those scenes where I'm like, you're seeing all this cool stuff happening on like a bunch of different planets, and you're just like, where are these people? Why are they there? Etc. Etc. And you don't get it. You just don't get to know that information unless you've
Well, I mean,
read
even
books.
within the movie, that doesn't matter. All you need to know is they're Jedi being killed by their own troops.
Yeah, but it's like it's something to where it's like, wow, that's a cool place. I would like to know more about it, and for those that want to, they can find out. It's not like
it's so weird that you don't know much about it because for as long as I can remember, I've known all this stuff. Like I've just always known who those Jedi are in that scene.
Yeah, I never did.
I think it's mainly because a lot of times because of the Lego game, because I think a lot of them appear as playable characters in that.
Oh, well, I did play the Lego Star Wars games.
So you see the names there.
I played the Lego Star Wars games, but I mostly just played the characters I liked.
Yeah.
So
you even get a character like Luminara, who was going to appear in Revenge of the Sith, but got fully cut out because Lego Star Wars came out before Revenge of the Sith did. So it even has a level based on cut concepts from the movie. It's funny. But we can talk about that more when we get to Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out I was supposed to pick that up.
Well, that's
Okay,
another
so
thing.
those things have absurdly high damage even if you're a Jedi character, so be careful.
Yeah.
They will destroy you.
That's another thing I wanted to say about this game, and from, you know, my time playing the original. It's like never really obvious what you have to do sometimes.
Well, I mean, just base game-wise, all you got, if you play campaign mode and play Conquest, all you gotta do is just capture all the objectives or kill all the enemies.
Yeah,
but there are
like,
a lot of like level-specific gimmicks. Oh, jeez.
Oh, you're dead.
There's like a lot of level-specific gimmicks, I guess, that you may not figure out because they have their own separate controls.
Yeah, like I just remember, like, I don't know. It's probably just because I didn't read the instructions as a kid or whatever during missions. But like, I would just go into a mission and be like, okay, where's the end of the level? Because that's the only kind of video game I had played at the time. So
okay, yeah. I mean, when I played this, I fully knew you had to just kill everybody because my dad had played this when he was on deployments. That's literally the reason he got an Xbox was to play this.
Yeah. Looks like this rocket launcher sucks.
No, it's because for some reason the hitbox on those lasers is broke. It's just situational. You gotta use it to destroy vehicles.
But I would be using it in regular gameplay.
No, it's not good for that.
I
you
like
play
rocket
as the Jet
launchers.
Trooper because he basically has a much better weapon for that for single enemies, and he can fly around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I played this, I think it took me like a good 6 years or something stupid like that before I even touched the campaign. Because I was too stupid to actually explore menus. I just knew how to get to instant action so I could play Conquest mode. Because that's the only mode I knew how to play. I didn't even know about Capture the Flag and such. I just knew how to get to Conquest mode. And there's also a couple maps that were hidden to me for the longest time because if you look through the list, it goes in alphabetical order, and when you reach the space levels, it's just a long list of space levels. I thought that was the end of the list as a kid, so I never went below them because I didn't want to play the space levels because I didn't know how to control the ships. But there's like 2 or 3 maps under that I just never knew existed.
That's like me with Godzilla Save the Earth on Xbox. Because when you go to like the map selection for that, when you want to do like multiplayer matches, it's like a very thin menu where the levels are actually listed because they have this big screen that shows what level you're highlighting. If you're not like really paying attention to the UI, you would not know that you could like scroll down on it.
Yeah.
To like get some
So
more
anyways,
levels.
we're now dealing with the droid attack on the Wookiees.
I remember
Sorry, I had to make
this.
the
This
joke.
is where Yoda is.
Yeah, you do get to play as Yoda here.
And
I
I know
had
who
something I
Yoda
was gonna
is.
say, I forgot.
Yeah, I pretty
can't remember.
I pretty much know everything about Star Wars. I know Yoda, I know Darth Vader, I know Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan. So like, what else
Luke
is there?
Skywalker's that guy who used the Force too much and just died.
Little known fact, Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. Who'da thunk?
Oh, spoiler! Spoiler! We haven't gotten to that point. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say because I know you're probably not listening to the voiceovers. I think it's actually in the outro voiceover, but he talks about how much the clones respected the Wookiees because of how helpful they were as warriors, and then talks about how sad it was that they knew they'd be coming back as conquerors to enslave them.
This game's depressing.
It is. It goes all into the fact that the clones knew about the Empire becoming a thing. And then the rest of the game, you just play as them in the Empire, and you're just the villain the whole time. You're trying to destroy the rebellion in this game.
That just
It is dark and gritty.
the way
great.
the way this frames it then makes it seem like the clones are just flat out evil.
Yeah, that is exactly what it tries to do.
Okay.
Because it's kind of built around George Lucas's original idea for how like the Force and evil in Star Wars worked. Which didn't really have any nuance to it. It was just kind of if you're evil or if you use the dark side of the Force or evil in any way or associated with it, you're just always evil.
Gotcha.
And you're just destroying the universe and that kind of
that has certainly changed. But,
yeah, when Dave Filoni started running Star Wars, The
Yeah.
Clone Wars, the TV show, that added in a lot of balance ideas, where
Yeah.
balance means dark and light, versus George Lucas,
Yeah.
where balance is only the light side of the Force, and to be balanced, you have to get rid of the dark side.
yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, it's also
Especially
like
because George Lucas was still ahead of Star Wars when that came out and improved it. So it's
Yeah.
interesting how that changed.
well, I can see why he might have changed his mind.
This model's broken on widescreen.
Nice. But I can see why he might have chosen to change his mind on it because I think I'm not alone in my interpretation that like even Luke in the original trilogy might have a little bit of a darker edge to him. Even
not
after,
so much. It's more he's just too young.
Well,
But he still has that hope. He's more of like an allegory for why the Jedi being, or he's more representative of why the Jedi being so apathetic towards everybody and only focus on the Force was a bad thing, which the prequels
Yeah.
also get into.
That's
It's like, yeah, he got his hand cut off, but he did save his friends, which saved the rebellion. And then because he didn't give up on his
Yeah.
father, he stuck to his emotions. He saved his father. He just had the skills and
Yeah.
the training to back it up, you know?
Yeah,
Is
that's
at least how I interpret it.
that's kind of what I meant because like it's very clear that like at least in the prequels at the very least that kind of emotion is a bad thing to them. Like having that kind of emotional connection with people and stuff like that is not necessarily a good thing as a Jedi. But Luke has that anyway, so it's kind of like if you kind of can reinterpret Luke in that way after the fact, after the prequels.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I always interpreted him. So, because emotions are inherently dark side, according to some Jedi.
It's not necessarily you can't have like no emotions, you just can't have attachments is what it's about. Because the second you have attachments, it means you can start fearing the loss of them. And that's what leads to the dark side, because now you gain power. You want to gain power to protect that. Though an idea that was kind of flirted with, but not really drawn out enough because George Lucas kind of changed tracks in Revenge of the Sith. But an idea for Anakin was he was supposed to actually his fall to the dark side was him genuinely believing that the Jedi are corrupt in their own way. And that their power in the light side was the same as being a Sith. Though a lot of this is still kind of in the movie in Revenge of the Sith. It's just most of the downplayed to focus on him trying to save his wife instead, which I think is a little more lame.
Yeah, like
If
all
they
we
had
get
the time
in the
to
movies,
develop that, I think it would have been way cooler.
all we get
more
in
interesting.
the movie is basically their refusal to make him into a Jedi Master, and him saying the phrase, "From my point of view, the Jedi are evil." That's basically like all we get.
Yeah. Well, there's that, and then like if you pay attention to the political stuff, which a lot of people like to not, the Chancellor talks constantly about how the Jedi are trying to overthrow the Republic.
But like
and all that
Anakin
stuff.
himself doesn't. He like doesn't. It doesn't seem like he really entertains those ideas as much until like that end point. That's
Yeah,
why like
I
when
said, it's weird that he like kind of does, but doesn't really.
Yeah, it's like that's like my big problem with Episode 3 is, like, even though that movie takes place over the course of, like, months or whatever, it still somehow feels like Anakin's fall to the dark side is very rapid and sudden at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
I like Revenge of the Sith. I like it a lot. It's a very flawed movie. I have so many issues with that movie.
Yeah. It's like, at a certain point, he helps basically kill Mace Windu, and suddenly he's like, all of his other morals are gone. He's just like, yes, I will be your apprentice, even though I've been raised to think Sith are evil this whole time. You know.
It's a problem with the prequels as a whole, because for some reason, the prequels, instead of starting with the beginning, start with the prologue. Like, Phantom Menace, for the rest of the movies, just does not even need to exist. Which is the real tragedy. Attack of the Clones is what's actually beginning. But because of that, it means you go straight to Revenge of the Sith and you skip the middle. The middle is where all the development would happen. And, you know, we've kind of gotten that now with the Clone Wars TV show. That is our middle. And it does actually have a pretty good representation of Anakin falling to the dark side because of Padme. Which is what Lucas wanted. I was about to finally play as a Jet Trooper, and then I got Yoda. Sad. But, yeah. It's part of the tragedy of the prequels. I like the prequels a lot. I'm not going to pretend they're perfect, though, or anything. You know, I can be real about it.
Yeah, you know, thinking back on it, I guess we really don't need to see them finding and, like, basically adopting Anakin, and we didn't need to see, you know, pod racing. We don't even necessarily need to see Qui-Gon.
Nope.
You know, like, do we need to...
He was going to have a bit more of a role in Revenge of the Sith, being the one to teach Yoda how to become immortal. Yoda and Obi-Wan. But...
yeah.
That got cut out.
Didn't they kind of...
It was brought back in the Clone Wars, though.
I was going to ask, didn't they also kind of bring that back in one of the newer Disney, like, shows on Disney Plus?
They showed it in Kenobi. They even brought back Liam Neeson for it. I don't want to talk about Kenobi.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about the Kenobi show is that that, like, last fight was really good, other than the fact that it kind of makes no sense for him to leave him alive again.
The problem with the fight is it's stolen. They already did that exact concept for a fight. It was Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Vader. Because it's Ahsoka Tano, it felt way more effective there. And it doesn't end with her winning. It originally was implied to end with her getting killed by Vader. And then thanks to time travel shenanigans in Star Wars, she actually lives.
Bruh.
I just killed that Wookiee.
You've done that on accident a couple times, I think. And it's just going to happen in this game.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Units are everywhere. There's no repercussions other than displaying. If you lose too many units, you do lose. If you look on the left. So you do have a bit of a time limit there.
Yeah. Feels like the bullets have, like, a set distance that they can go before they just disappear or something. Sometimes.
Yeah, this gun's really good close range. Just don't use it far.
Yeah.
It's nice because I think it's hit scan.
This entire commentary series is going to be riddled with copyright issues.
The first part of this especially, because I forgot the menu just contains scenes from the movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
And we just straight up got the soundtrack going right now. Hopefully our talking kind of overrides it a little bit.
I'm hoping so, but I see plenty of people stream this game, especially with the Classic Collection and Lego Star Wars. I think we're fine.
Yeah. Maybe just mix the audio a little bit quieter than usual.
Yeah.
For the game audio. But I will say, since we're talking about it, I love the soundtracks for these movies, so
Oh, they're so good.
Very nice hearing them in just straight up in the game. It's that kind of thing that I wish, you know, movie adaptations of video games would do more often. You know, actually using stuff from the source material, like the music and whatnot.
Yeah, but it also makes something like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed feel even more impactful and special because those games. Oh god, that is a tank. There are two tanks shooting at me. Because those games just actually have their own music too, along with Star Wars tunes. Because those games were big, high-budget releases.
Yeah.
So, the new DICE games even do it as well. The Battlefront games from that. I think Fallen Order, though, has its own original soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
I win.
Just win. That's something that
Dark Souls Dodge
has been
rode
bugging
those
me with
tanks.
this. That's something that has been bothering me with this. It's like, I know you're doing the objective, but it's so funny that the game just cuts off. And it's like, victory! And then fade to cutscene.
They obviously put a lot of effort into this, but this was clearly a multiplayer title first.
Yeah.
Like the original. The campaign's even worse than the original, but